Hi everyone, good afternoon. I'm Sanjana. I head the Solutions and Presales Engineering team at Wise Platform for APAC. I would love to take this opportunity today to showcase how we use APIs to power instant and low-cost cross-border payments for our customers at Wise and specifically at Wise Platform. First and foremost, for those who don't know about Wise, Wise is a global tech company which builds best way to move money and manage money around the world. Our mission is money without borders, which is strongly built on four pillars. First, coverage, improve our coverage and bring Wise to more people and businesses across the world. Second is the price. We want to minimize the price as much as we can. Third is transparency, always using the mid market rate with no hidden fees. And fourth is convenience, ensuring max ease, full speed for most convenient way to send money. We started out as transfers, but now we expanded to provide faster, cheaper payments for businesses with Wise Business, multi-currency accounts with Wise Account, and banks and large companies use Wise's technology too to embed the best way to move and manage money across different countries and currencies through Wise platform. So what are the problems that we're trying to solve? Every novel solution has an inherent problem. This is no different to Wise. We are solving three major problems for the world of money that's fast, easy, fair, and open to all. Firstly, we know that sending money across borders is slow, it's expensive, it's tough, and it's hard to do. Secondly, international banking doesn't really exist at global scale. Businesses and people are looking for faster, cheaper, and more convenient ways to transact money across borders. And thirdly, underlying technology. Infrastructure has not really evolved in decades. So that's where Wise has stepped in to solve these three major problems for the world. Today, Wise has more than 10 million active businesses and personal customers worldwide. Wise's customers can conveniently send to more than 70 countries. And Wise saved customers 1.5 billion pounds in fees just in a span of a year. But we can't really expect everybody to go to wise.com to process their payments or other cross-border needs. So Wise Platform's mission is to go and bring Wise to them. In the apps they already use every day. These are some of the partners we are already servicing today. How do we achieve this? Of course, it's through APIs. With our APIs, we can create smarter and more reliable payment experiences for our partners' customers leveraging Wise Platform. At Wise Platform, we make available all the products and services to other platforms through our APIs. We contribute to the same mission, we run on the same services and platforms, but we make it all available externally for others to plug into. Really, what this means is we enable any online platforms like banks, business tools, payment apps to integrate our services in their products to ensure their customers have seamless experience in their own apps. Bank Mandiri, one of the biggest banks in Indonesia, integrated with Wise Platform to offer international payments to their customers in their own applications. So as a Bank Mandiri user, you can make international payments directly from your Bank Mandiri application. It's all powered by Wise in the background. And here's what Bank Mandiri had to say after they've integrated with us. Thanks to Wise Platform, our retail customers can now skip the queues at our bank branches and enjoy fast, full amount guaranteed, cheap and easy overseas money transfers in multiple currencies, all within our Live-In by Mandiri app. But how does it work? So Let's dive a bit deep into seeing how we enable different banks, online platforms, or even businesses to integrate with Wise so they can actually leverage on the services that we provide. Wise has one API. It powers Wise.com and our 10 million active customers, Wise apps, and it powers our partners' integrations and their customers. Today, I'll be diving deep into Send Money product, which basically has 3 easy steps to make a transfer. The first, quote. How much do you want to send and where? Recipient. Who do you want to send the payment to? And third is the transfer. Confirm and pay. So, I want to just give a quick demo here, which is Mox Bank. Mox Bank is a bank in Hong Kong. It's a virtual bank in Hong Kong, which is backed by Standard Chartered Bank. They integrated with Wise platform and went live last month, enabling their customers to send money across borders. So here it is. It's a very quick demo, which actually shows 3 different steps, which I already mentioned in the past. So it's to create recipient, code creation, and payment creation and tracking. Nice. Now let's move a bit more in depth to see how our APIs actually power the customer experience to the next level. On the code screen, you can see total fees. This ensures our customers are well aware of our fees. Exact source amount, our user base, and delivery estimation. So basically, this is the estimated arrival time of the money. So how do we actually get this working? But before that, we need to understand that giving this information over our APIs actually increases a lot of transparency to our customers. And this drives approximately 80% reduction in customer contacts seeking basic information about the payments. So this is actually one of the response from our code endpoint. So there are a couple of things that I want to mention here. The first one is on the fee. We ensure that the fee is broken down into smaller pieces, which also helps our partner to see what exactly they want to display onto their customers. And the estimated delivery, we also have a way to give the estimated delivery in human readable form so our partners can just use this value and then enhance their front-end customer experience. The next is delivery estimation. So, by servicing 10 million customers, we have learned that providing the delivery estimation to our customers reduce contact rates to a large extent. Hence, we've ensured that this information gets exposed via our APIs, which you saw in the previous screen. But how do we actually determine the delivery estimate? There are 4 different data points that we actually use to determine the delivery estimation within our own apps. So the first one is live feedback from Wise servicing customers. Second is the cutoff and flight times. Third is corridor-specific screening. And fourth is partner availability. Having all of this data, we can actually know how long it's going to take for this transfer to reach the recipient. Once the code is created, the next step is to create the recipient. Again, by servicing our own customers, we have learned that most of the transfer failures are directly or indirectly related to erroneous recipient information. Hence, at Wise, we have gone that extra mile to, of course, use the power of APIs to enhance as much validation as we can in our own APIs. And this, we've actually built something very, very different, which is called dynamic form. And what dynamic form actually does is to generate different fields according to the source amount, target amount, source currency, and target currency, because each of this combination will have different amount of information that's required for the user to input. And hence, These things actually need not have to be managed by the front end, but this is powered by the back end. So front end can just take it and then display it. If you're interested to know a bit more about how dynamic forms or dynamic flow works within WISE, you can actually watch one of my colleagues who presented during API Days last year on dynamic flow. But to summarize, we have 3 levels of validation on recipient creation. Let's dive deep into all the 3 of these. The first level is sanity checks. So validation of input format. So if you see on the screen on the right, I've actually put in like a single word name. But the regex actually says that there has to be like 2 names. So there should be a first name as well as a last name. And then there's a min length and max length. These are some sanity checks which can be performed way early in the flow so that any kind of recipient failure can be caught earlier in the flow. The second level is validation async. So what exactly is this? WISE exposes an ad hoc API for our partners to further validate the recipient details. Now, one of the examples here is that, say, BSB code. BSB code does not really change on a daily basis. So WISE actually maintains a database of different BSB codes, sort code, etc., and this is used for validation. And how do we do this? We expose an endpoint which can take in these values on the fly right after the user has entered the input. We validate this and feed this back to the end users. So if there's anything that does not work, the user already knows about it. This is one of our partners, again, Mandiri Bank, who have already implemented our dynamic recipient form to check if the ACH routing number is actually valid or not. This is powered by our validation async endpoint. Then the next level of recipient validation is server-side validation. So why do we need this? Quite a lot of times when the payment is actually created and it's gone out, we get failures. And then we realize, or we learn that these failures could have been, preempted earlier in the flow by giving enough validation to the end customers to say that this information does not look correct. So here is another screen from N26 Bank, which is a German neobank headquartered in Berlin. So if you see on the screen, this actually validates a full name, which is matched to the UPI ID. When the name is correct, it's actually my own UPI ID. So if the name is correct, you don't get any error back. However, if the name is incorrect, then you surely get the error message back saying that this particular UPI ID does not really match the name. And as a user, I will get alerted to say, if there's something I could do to create this transfer successfully, I'll go back, get the correct information, I'll put that in, and then I'll create a transfer. With this, failure rates can reduce significantly. This is another example, again, showing how we do server-side validation for similar kind of things. So in the previous one, we did name check validation. However, here, we're also doing a check on Do It Now ID for MYR transfers. If the Do It Now ID does not exist, then we give a live feedback to the end customer to say that this particular Do It Now ID doesn't seem right. So after going through all the validation that's required to create a recipient and the recipient gets created, the next piece is to actually go ahead, confirm that you want to send this transfer to the recipient and create a transfer. This is again another screen by Mandiri Bank where they have integrated with us. And this is a confirmation screen where we see final amount, fees, delivery estimate, and the rate guarantee as well. And this is just for the end users to ensure that this is a payment that they want to proceed with. At the same time, we have another dynamic form which actually captures a lot more of, say, additional transfer requirements which have not been collected in the past. And again, this varies from different currencies, different corridors, different from and to currencies. And hence, having this dynamically built into the front end is going to basically help a lot of these, like application rebuilds over and over again. Once a transfer is created, the next step is, of course, to have the tracking in place. We've learned that giving real time feedback to our customers is the best way to increase customer satisfaction and keep them very well informed of all the information that we have about where their money is. So, there are three different ways we actually enable tracking to our customers as well as our partners. The first one, webhooks. So, using webhooks, our partners can track status of their transfers in real time, which means as soon as we know, our partners know, and as soon as our partners know, the customer knows. And all of this happen over API and over webhook. The second one is statement and transfer receipts. Again, this is available for easy retrieval over API. So our partners can actually have a small button on their front end to say, just download the receipt here or download the statement here. And then we power that over API, and the partner and the customer can actually have a view of the receipt or the statement. The third one is operational reporting and analytics. And this is provided by us on a daily or quarterly basis. Let's dive a bit deep into how tracking works for each of the transfer that's created on Wise. So there are different statuses or different ways or different levels of tracking that we actually provide. For any transfer that's created, it goes into incoming payment waiting, which just means that the transfer is created, but the money has not reached us. And once the money has reached us, it moves into processing. At processing, we do a lot of checks on fraud check, AML check, sanctions check, etc., etc. Everything is automated, and it just takes a few seconds to complete. And then we actually move into sending the money out to the recipient. And this is a happy flow. So what happens if it's an unhappy flow? Something goes wrong, then you can see the red arrow here, which basically shows the unhappy path. So the transfer goes into cancelled, funds refunded, or say it goes out and gets paid, but then it bounces back and then it goes into processing, cancelled, and funds refunded. So our partner and the customers are very well aware of where the transfer is and what stage the transfer is in. However, of course, we spoke about a lot about happy flow and unhappy flow. There's one piece where the transfer would actually leave our bank account but would not reach the recipient, which means there's some kind of payout failure that has happened on the way. So we also have a webhook that we actually expose for our partners to subscribe to, and we give what exactly was the reason for the payout to fail. I've just listed like 3 different payout failure reasons here. One is like account is frozen, account information incorrect, account limit reached. Again, there are tons of other reasons why a payout could fail, but these are just like the 3 that I picked. By giving this kind of information to both partner as well as the customers, they will know exactly what was the problem with their payouts or the transfer that they've created, and they can go and then take the required action to complete the transfer. And of course, like this reduces contacts to our partners as well as us. So now that we know the power of APIs and how this can change the world of cross-border payments, I would also want to like showcase where Wise platform is today. We have now integrated with more than 80 partners worldwide, and we have just started. Our goal is really to get Wise integrated to as many banks and apps that consumers and businesses use to manage their money. We're still a very small team within Wise trying to achieve big things and contribute to the mission. But with the power of APIs, we're confident that our mission will be accomplished very soon. Thank you.